Dr. Lauren's doing a bunch of videos over primitive reflexes, and I want to talk just a little about individual reflexes because, you know, like in the first sections, you guys learned a lot about different exercises to do and things like that, and we do those exercises as part of our therapy. But I want to kind of talk to you guys about the big players that, like, for example, if you don't have room in your practice to do all those exercises, you can send them home. But I want to talk about things that I think are the most important for getting rid of individual exercises, individual reflexes. So first, I'm going to talk about the ATNR and the STNR together and how I view them, which is going to be different from how you've probably learned them before. So the ATNR and STNR, they're primarily motor and muscular reflexes. And to be honest, I think these are ones that actually should go away earlier on. Like from a rehab perspective, I think they're most important to work on first. Because once I get rid of these, I see a lot of the other ones start to get inhibited and go away. So that's why I say that. But how we get rid of them, number one is we activate the weak cerebellum and the opposite cortex. So by doing that, I can use photobiomodulation to do that. I can use Emfield to do that. I can use adjustments on one side of the body to do that. So like if it's a left cerebellum that's weak, I'm only going to adjust them on the left side of the body. I can do sensory stuff to do that. And you look for whatever basically starts to change that reflex. And then I use photobiomodulation for the weak cerebellum and the weak frontal cortex. I'll do 2 to 5 minutes on red and infrared each. And then I'll usually do 2 to 5 minutes on violet as well, if you have a violet laser. Then I work on range of motion. So this is the order that I actually do this in. I work on range of motion for the ATNR and STNR, which Dr. Lauren went through. And I honestly think this is the most important thing you can do to get rid of an ATNR and STNR is to work on range of motion. Most of the time when I get normal range of motion, these reflexes will be gone. So very, very, very important. I personally have not done a lizard in probably over a year. Like I had someone do a lizard in over a year because usually I don't need to. I'll get rid of the reflexes and then I may send them home with exercises like lizards to do. But usually you'll get rid of the reflexes just by getting normal range of motion. After that, I'll do motor movements for these reflexes. So, and a lot of times I'll have a staff member do this in the office if we're doing it in the office, or I'll make sure that they do them at home. I'll give them oxygen. And then I will also check for tongue ties, lip ties. If they have a tongue tie, I do it really simply. If they have a tongue tie, I will put the point on the Avant laser. I'll put it on red. I'll put it on blood circulation. And I'll laser it for a couple minutes and I'll stretch it. Laser it for a couple minutes and I'll stretch it. And you'll notice as you laser it, it'll get more and more and more mobility in it. If I do that over and over again, it'll normally it'll open up the range of motion in this plane where their head goes forward and their head goes back. So if you have a ton of restriction with their chin coming back, usually it's a tongue tie or a lip tie. So I'll laser those, stretch them. If I can't get their cervical spine to normalize by doing that and by working on range of motion, and I've worked on it for a few days and it's not changing, that's when I'll refer for a lip tie, tongue tie revision. Because that needs to be, there's a big connection there. And when you have a big tongue tie, your occiput and C1 when you tilt forward, they don't open up appropriately. So you don't have that normal range of motion in the upper cervical. Therefore, you can't develop the reflexes that are associated with that. So that's why I think that's really important. Then after that, number 7, I'll work on balance with eye movements and head movements. So I will work on balancing and getting them to use their eyes and maintain balance. Get them to move their head and maintain balance. Because before, when they have this reflex, every time they turn their head, their arm and leg flex on one side and the opposite side extends. Arm and leg flex on one side, opposite side extends. So it throws them off balance whenever they move their head or their eyes. So after you get rid of the reflex, you got to retrain that. You got to get them the ability to use their eyes independent of their head and their head independent of their body so that they can maintain balance and move their head and their eyes. And then I'll work on fixations, pursuits, saccades, and I'll also use the Emfield for their cerebellum and any tight muscles to relax, like especially like their pecs. I'll use the Emfield on to calm down those muscles. I may even use it to fire up their rhomboids to get better posture, start to activate those muscles appropriately, their hips, their pelvis, especially range of motion. Like they will usually have real STNR, they'll have super tight pelvic muscles. And if you can get their pelvis to start opening up and moving more efficiently, a lot of times that alone will get rid of a symmetrical tonic neck reflex. So I find pelvis, shoulders, neck to be the most important when it comes to these two reflexes. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. To learn more or to schedule an intensive or anything with my team, there's a link below. Just go ahead and click that and that'll get you to the right spot. Have an awesome day.